What is going on, guys? It is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we're going to be talking about the I country. We're also going to be talking about electronic warfare. We'll be right back right after this. Right after this. Today's show is brought to you by NordVPN. Make sure to use the special code Marfoogle to save and help the show at the same time. MarfoogleNews.com/VPN. All right, what is going on, guys? My name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. It is a live show, so anything can happen, including flub-ups and flaws and mistakes. So stay tuned. Just to make sure you know, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views on the callers should and could differ considerably from my opinions, Dex opinions, or anyone else with the show, including our wonderful mods. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, of course, we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, so we're going to go over that to make sure you know everything and where all of this is coming from. We have archived it on our website. In fact, we take the time before every single episode to put it on our website. Now, when you actually go to our website, it's very easy to navigate. You just look for tonight's thumbnail, and then you will see this show. It says Electronic Ain't Fair. Again, so much more to come. When you click on that, you will see that we have archived every single link, every single article, every single document, every single, of course, in this case, video and tweet is all on there. So again, tonight we're going to be talking about some pretty big stuff going on right now. We're also going to be talking about what a personal, well, in this case, extended family member has told me. Again, I don't say that very often. I don't say what I'm going to say tonight very often. But again, I do believe that it's not going to harm anyone, and I do believe that people should know, and I think people will know very soon what is kind of going on in the sea and what's going on between I country and Venezuela. So we'll talk about that here in a moment. Let's bring in Dex. Dex is my co-host / internet brother. What is going on, Dex, and how are you doing tonight?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So obviously we have a ton of weird, crazy stuff. Last night's show, if you did not see that, if you have spent, the last couple shows taking a break, I would highly recommend it. That show ended up being one of the best shows we've done in a long time, and that was actually due to all three of the callers being just phenomenal, including that last one who brought up the inflatable tanks and the inflatable, basically the inflatable military that Russia has been caught with. Now, some took that as, oh, well, they're trying to beef up and make us think they have a bigger military than they really do. I don't think that's the case. I think that they have the military we think they have, and that is public, but they also have those, and, those from satellite look like they're military. Not only this, inside of those inflatables is actual radar causing whatever it is. It's an electronic signal that makes it look like that's the actual thing. So that could be used to possibly, send our troops or any other country that they're in conflict with to go, fight basically a bunch of inflatables. And meanwhile, where they really are will be unguarded or, less guarded than it should be because they're all focused on inflatables. They could spread. So why would you do that? Well, if you're going up against a military that is much bigger than yours, you would need to basically try to distract some of it away, and you would need to do that. That shows to me that they're spending a lot of money, and I mean a lot. Those inflatables are, they're less than a real tank, but man, these things are expensive. They're spending a lot of money to basically get that going. So we'll talk about that later on. And again, we missed something last night, kind of the main story last night about Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was on basically lockdown for an unspecified reason. They said that there was an unspecified threat there. I do, we of course have a lot of military in our groups. When we had our Discord open, we had over 500 active and retired military vets that were all vetted by other military members. And a lot of these guys are of course hearing just a ton of stuff right now. We have stuff from all over. But again, let's get into the news. If you're not getting notifications, remember to go to our website, marfooglenews.com, especially now. You're going to want to sign up for the alerts. If anything were to get told to us and we know for 100% fact that something was going to go down, we would let you know through that system. Go to marfooglenews.com and sign up for the email alerts. You can also sign up for push notifications. That means you'll get a notification directly to your phone right when we go live. We make sure that we are not giving you false information, and we vet every story and try to use authoritative sources and then compile it all together. As far as this, I wanted to cover this yesterday. Not much was known. Of course, the military base was on lockdown over a potential security threat there. Nobody still knows, exactly what happened there. But I just wonder, with everything digital and every kind of hack that is going on, they have a lot of drones there. They have a lot of remote equipment. Apparently, when I talked to some of the folks in Hawaii that are familiar and some of the vets there, they say that Hawaii has turned into somewhat of a electronics depot. They have a lot of the stuff there. They test it because they have good weather for testing things. Not to mention they have a lack of bad weather that would harm these kind of electronics. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I do know that I believe that we are going to see a whole lot more of these kind of instances where we see these things. We were joking around, me and Dex were joking around yesterday that, did somebody call in and say, hey, there's a bunch of booms on your boat? There's a bunch of booms on that Navy ship. And, every Navy ship has booms on it, if you know what I mean. Dex, what do you think about this Pearl Harbor thing? Have we had any update on this? Did they tell us what this unspecified threat was?
Yeah, that was one of the actual things reported by the local news there, that there was, in addition to a shelter in place, that there was a possible boom on board a Navy ship. And that was what they said. Now, I sort of joked and there's, all sorts of booms on board Navy ships, right? But that's all I have. And the update after they gave the all clear was it was unspecified and they didn't really give any details. So and something went on. Yeah,
was this like a Moe's Tavern thing? Like, wait, hey, is there a Seymour Butts here? Wait, what? We've got booms on our Navy ship? Yeah, you got 10,000 of them. We were saying, like, would you actually technically get in trouble if you called and told them a fact? And Dex brought up the fact that, yes, even if you light a lighter in a theater and scream, fire, that's illegal because it's intent. I guess you quoted something about, freedom of speech and how there are kind of there are rules to it, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't incite something. There's limitations to it. So yeah, doing things that cause harm to others would not be considered free speech.
Now, they actually secured the gates at JBPHH. Officials at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam said on Twitter, "We will provide additional updates as they become available." They have not become available. So we'll see. If they have, make sure to put that as a comment down below and let us know, and we'll correct it and add it to the website. And then, of course, the Y-12 nuclear development site has deployed its first anti-drone system. So, Dex, this is kind of a clue to what these UFOs might be, right? Is this something?
Well, certainly, and we also, we had all those incidences with drones flying over these facilities, especially multiple at the same time. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to and what technology they're using. But this is one of the first facilities to publicly come out and say they're putting in a platform to take out these drones.
Well, because drones are becoming increasingly more dangerous as far as, if enemies get their hands on them. Now, drone technology has gotten to the point where a relatively small drone can carry a lot of weight. We're talking about the motors in them are getting better, the technology to lift more. They're doing all sorts of other things. Even a consumer, just say a sleeper cell got their hands on, say, like a professional DJI drone or an Inspire or something like that. That could carry too much. We're talking about something that you could buy at Best Buy and something you can buy on Amazon that's used for drone fishing, which is a thing. that it actually has a remote system to where you can drop stuff into the water remotely from your DJI remote. So think about how that could be used in a bad way, especially if you got up and then flew right over a nuclear base. It wouldn't take much to cause problems, as you could probably guess. It says the deployment at the Y-12 shows how seriously the DOE and, of course, other federal departments and agencies are beginning to take the drone threat. So they are doing some serious upgrades here to help protect against the rising threat of drone incursions above sensitive infrastructure. The National Nuclear Security Administration, or NNSA, Office of Defense Nuclear Security, has deployed its first counter-unmanned aircraft system at the Y-12 National Security Complex in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It's unclear exactly what that system consists of, but it's described as being able to detect, identify, and track potentially malicious UAS threats. So basically track and follow these drones. Note, however, that the description does not include any mention of being able to actually neutralize or disable. So I wonder why they would just track it but not take it down. I'm sure that they are going to have somebody with some sort of system that goes, that works alongside this. I know I've seen in the military, you have a machine that tracks something, and then somebody else could even take a hand-fired something, and it would use that system to track its target. Kind of like... I heard that some of the newer rocket launchers, they can actually point the targeting system from space, and then somebody can run up, launch the thing, and then it goes to wherever is marked by a laser marker or whatever they use. So I'm sure there's much more advanced stuff than that. So we'll see what happens with this. We're following the story. And then, of course, we've talked about this for the last couple of years, and especially since Kim ended up getting a brain surgery, or different surgeries have been reported by different authoritative sources. But afterwards, he kind of went, dark. He wasn't showing up. I had the thought that he may be already gone and that his sister has taken his place. Now they say, though, he is showing up publicly but looks skinnier. Now, let me ask you this. For those of you who have, said, no, I think he's there and there's videos showing him there, now he looks like a different person, apparently. So, as far as weight. Or that could mean that his health has taken a serious downturn and they are prepping his sister to take over. It says speculations about the NK leader's health seems to be a favorite pastime of Western media, with his disappearance from the public eye last year sparking rumors that he was dead or comatose. A Sputnik investigation later revealed that those rumors were started by an outlet that receives money from the U.S. National Endowment for... It says Kim Un is the news again after reappearing in the public spotlight following a lengthy absence to attend a meeting of the Politburo of the Korean Workers' Party, appearing to have lost a substantial amount of weight. In new photos and videos of the leader published by the Korean Central Television, NK's state-owned broadcaster, a slimmed-down Kim could be seen walking into Politburo meeting room and speaking to officials at a consultative meeting in the Central Committee discussing economic problems. Yeah, like the fact that your grocery stores are all, made of cardboard fronts. Yeah. So this is this embedded video. Is this correct? I don't want to click on the wrong video here. But is this showing the part of this? This is probably something that...
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just an official video from their government.
From the pictures here,
and it has music.
He still looks just as chipmunky as ever, but... And then, of course, those don't look like inflatables. Let's see. Who designs these things? That is black and white and checkered. If any of you know what that means, right? So what do you guys think? As far as Kim, do you think that he is alive? I'm going to take a vote real quick, and I'm going to turn the chat box on. If he's alive, if he's just totally fine and maybe even lost weight because, hey, maybe he had a heart attack or something and they said, hey, you got to get on that treadmill. Do you think he's alive? Press number 1. 2, do you think he's in bad health? Or 3, do you think he's already gone and they are just photoshopping him in places? Again, 1, he is still alive and healthier. 2, he is again, I guess, less healthy. And then 3, is he dead and his sister is taking over? So, wow, a lot of, again, just like always. By the way, thank you for the 2,000 plus people that are already here in the show. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate that. Thank your mods. A lot of people are saying 3, doppelganger. Let's see. Some people say look-alike, propaganda, robotic Jun-un. Yeah, like a Gundam Jun-un. Gundam man. Chipmunk. Hello. I love that. Thanks, mods. That's awesome. Twisted Luck Truth. Hey, what's going on? We've got Anja Schnelly, Kim O'Donnell, Christina Faith here. We've got Ray Mary. By the way, I got a special thing in the mail. I just want to show this real quick. I actually put water in it earlier because it was so cool. I did a little photo shoot. Cindy in chat here sent me this. I don't know if you can see that, but it says the Marfie and its hand inscribed in the cup. And then behind, it's backwards. You can see it on the back here. It says MN. And actually, since it's flipped, you can see it. But I thought this was so cool. And on the bottom, it says it has a heart, a face, and it says Shoutro, Dex, and Adam. Thank you, Cindy. I posted some stuff on Instagram and I posted some pictures of that. The Lego part of it that you sent, which, by the way, thank you to, there's a couple people that send me Legos. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But also the Lego part of it, the Call of Duty Nuketown part, that broke apart in the box. But I'm going to try to find the instructions and try to build it back up. It was pretty cool. She basically sent me the Call of Duty Nuketown set of Lego, and it looks like like a town that was nuked. I thought that was freaking awesome. So thank you, Cindy, that you sent that back in April, and I just got it. So again, if you send a package and I don't say anything about it for a while, that's because I don't get my mail very often. So thank you, and thank you. And then, of course, U.S. warns Venezuela, Cuba to turn away the I ships believed to be carrying arms. Now, I will tell you this, that I talked to someone who is extended family. They're blood related, but they're, second cousin status. And 7 years in the Navy, basically what they said is, one, when I'm talking to them, they 100% believe we sank that last ship. They said basically that the last time that they tried to get certain weapons to Venezuela, we sank their ship. And that it's just accepted on base that it is just, that's what happened. Now, publicly, they say that a fire caught this ship 4 days after the U.S. said that we were monitoring ships going there, and they were all pissed off about, this is a freedom of navigation thing. We can go wherever we want. They had a forward operating base headed towards Venezuela. Right after that, of course, one of their largest Navy ships caught fire and sank, right? And little explanation of exactly what happened. So that was one of the things he said, but also said that they believe that they are trying to get electronic war weapons to Venezuela. I believe this, and I believe that, again, can't exactly verify this, but I think, and I'm so confident that I think within a matter of time, if not weeks, I want to say weeks, but people always hold me to dates. I think within a matter of time, the the public is going to come out with that. The media is going to come out with that, and they're going to let us know that they were trying to get stuff there. Now, even Dex and I were kind of going back and forth, and we were debating on what could be going on with NK and with I and Venezuela and all of that. So, Dex, our conversation before we got on the show was about, you were saying some of the things basically based on what you believe that I has. So to do a full-scale EMP above us, you would need a rocket that would go to high altitude. You personally don't think that I could do that, or at least from Venezuela.
Well, yeah, basically. I mean, but that doesn't mean they couldn't get one from somewhere else. I think the other thing that came to my mind after our conversation was we don't anticipate, and not since the Bay of Pigs have we really worried about ICBMs below us from the south, right? We have great relations all the way down through South America. We pretty much either control and or monitor it so well that we know that there's nothing below us, right? Our threats come from the north, basically coming across the North Pole or coming across the Pacific, right?
Yeah.
So I think the majority of our defense and detection and all of that capability is pointed in the north and to the west. And we probably spend very little or have very little to the south. So when these threats pop up to the south, it becomes a big deal because we're not necessarily prepared for it.
Okay, so if you get what you're saying, we have a ton of stuff in Alaska, we have tons of stuff up here, we have stuff stationed in Canada, but then, of course, when something comes down from below, and Venezuela is kind of a shot up, they say, 30 minutes away from Florida if you're going Mach 2. So at jet speed, you could go from Venezuela to Florida in about 30 minutes. So that's why when Russia was putting nuclear-capable boomers there, that they were concerned about it, and they were watching. They put 4 of their style boomers down there, and it was a big deal. But they were, of course, taking that forward operating base, as many called it, because it's literally a tanker that's turned into kind of a carrier type thing, like a jimmy-rigged carrier, was going towards there. That was right before they, of course, had their largest Navy ship sink. So now they're heading towards Venezuela with stuff. They've got kind of a pact or a friendship with Venezuela going here now. So something is going on. Something bigger is going on. And I believe if our intelligence doesn't catch it, or if they do something maybe smaller because their bigger stuff doesn't work, I believe we will see another big event. And that's like, that's something that nobody else can convince me of. That's my personal thought. I believe that all of us should have our personal thoughts on this. I'm not saying that to scare people. I don't think anybody should be afraid. I think that if you really follow this show, you know that we're not trying to make people afraid. We're trying to get people kind of drilled into it, so when it does happen, or if it does happen, then basically you'll be ready for it, that it's not going to be a shock. It's like muscle memory. If you prepare for these things, and if you mentally and spiritually prepare for these things, it starts getting to be a whole lot less stressful. So, I think that at this point, we need to be kind of, I guess, as serious as we can, and we back up what we say with all of the pieces. If you go through every single night, we are putting all of this and archiving it, so then we can quote and look back, and people say it's patting ourselves on the back, but it's really to show you we're trying to grow our track record, and we only tell you something if we truly believe it, because later on it's gonna, obviously it doesn't help us to say wild and crazy things, or that on January 31st we're gonna have this thing happen, right? A lot of channels do that. They'll say that, and after January 31st comes along and nothing happens, they could say, well, something happened secretly and we don't know. That very well could be, but again, we don't even try to do that. We try to make sure that we're telling you something that's realistic. So I hope to anybody that is like a newbie that just came in and just found us, just realize that, I guess ask some of the people about kind of our past. We had a Discord that was taken down, I think, because it was really getting really powerful. We had 15,000 people in there, and People were organizing in every single state. People were meeting in groups of upwards of 150 under this stupid little channel name. And people were meeting and talking about prep and exchanging ideas and doing all sorts of stuff. That is why we have taken it upon ourselves to build our own system. And who knows, we could just disappear tomorrow. That was, again, by the way, before that big day where everybody puts those things in. That's part of why it was taken out. We didn't, we only shared stuff that we knew was good, So, sorry to go on a side thing, but I do want to let you know this is what I think. If for those of you who do care, and for those of you who do listen to us, like the people that listen to us, that when we told you that, hey, there's going to be a big demic, right? That told you 4 months before CV started back in, September, back in August of 2020 or 2019, that whatever 4 months before it happened, we told you that the WO and everybody else, they were making money movements. They were doing all of these things. We were telling you, hey, we believe this is going to happen. It's all time stamped and the shows are still there. You can go back and see it. We even went as far as to say stock up on masks. So, which we got crap for and we stopped doing because people didn't believe us. But the people that did, they were very thankful.
So, Adam, I just did a little math here and a little distance calculation. It looks like of the public rockets that the iCountry has, the longest one is Shahab 3, which has been extended to go 1,200 miles. The distance from the northest point in Venezuela to the city of Miami is just shy of 1,200 miles. It's 1,165 miles, straight line.
So, and this was the other thing we were debating is, has Russia or another country given it to them? We're putting out a video on this, and we're going to use expert information and information that nobody's going to be able to go, oh, that's BS. And we're going to show you about EMP, and we're going to show you some information that you're going to go, holy moly. I hope that when we do this video that you share it to everybody, because not only will it be backed up, it will be official information, and it will be something that you can straight up, anybody who has doubts, when you tell them, hey, you need to prepare for this, you'll be able to take it to the bank and say, hey, no. That this is backed up. Check my work and go ahead. With that being said, I would say, NK is actually a lot further along than people realize now, and they have proof of that. And my debate with Dex is, if NK needs money, they could sell one of their confirmed high technology things that they've worked with Russia or whoever they help them do it, China. Could they sell that to the iCountry, and could the iCountry take that to Venezuela? That was my thing. I think that they could get something from NK that has a longer range, bring it down to Venezuela on one of those large tankers, and then launch it up into high altitude and knock anything out. Remember, our previous president said that there was something that would make 2001 look like chicken feed, and that is why they did an official mission with a drone strike that took out the of course that oh my gosh, what's his name? Dex, help me out here. Soleimani. But they didn't take out his second-hand man. They didn't take his second-hand in command out. They tried. They did both strikes simultaneously, but yet they missed the second guy. He has carried the torch on. So do you think that they just said, Soleimani's gone, so let's just give up? America's not that bad. You judge for yourself.
Well, even if, like I said, even if they weren't given anything, and even if they just only had what we publicly know about, okay, Miami is still a bullseye, right? And that's a lot of people, that's a lot of places, and that's a lot of population.
Millions.
And that's a big deal, and it's easily reachable. It's within range. So yeah, and it was not just the airplane we talked about, but even this Shahab 3 that they've had for a long time.
So So let me say this too. It's like, I don't think people realize that all of these, even if it's one big show, the people that are putting on the show are going to be in a safe place. They're going to be in their safe mansion, their safe super yacht, their safe super sub. It doesn't matter if this goes down because they'll be on top of it and they'll know it before it happens. So we'll see. All right, and then I wanted to say thank you. There's a few things that just went past. Thank you so much. Lisa K23 says, love you all so much. Thanks, Marf and Dex, for this platform. Well, thank you. Thank you for sticking around for so long, Lisa. Priscilla R., thank you so much. We lost our country a long time ago. Priscilla R. says, Charity 1956 says, much love and thanks from Red Feather Lakes, Colorado. Kelly 2334, thank you so much for your support. Mary Men 24, thank you. Lisa K. Again says, Marf, thanks to you, many of us are better prepared. Like I said, we didn't want a pat on the back. I think that if you guys knew something and didn't tell, I think that it's actually wrong not to. On some of the videos last year, I believe we actually risked a lot by doing that, and you guys know how careful we are. Zippy Moon says, I'm late, but I'm here. Emailed you. Zippy Moons, I will check it out. Again, lots of really good information coming in. I don't know if what you have there, but I will check it out. Kimberly Clemens says, much love. And then Michael Hensley, thank you so much for following. Teresa Waldrop, thank you for just joining the Foogle fam just now, subscribing to YouTube. Jamie H., thank you as well. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Stereo Oretz says, thank you guys for keeping us all informed. Keep up the great job, Adam and Dex mods and Foogle fam and their wives to make it happen. God bless you all. The Calling is a must read as well. Talking about Jacob Israel's new book. I believe it's now a Amazon bestseller. If you guys haven't checked out Jacob, our friend, he is doing amazingly, and for good reason. He needed that. He needed that to happen. Like he said, that's a miracle, and everybody is talking about it, and everybody's getting that book. Very prophetic book. DN Bender, thank you for subscribing. I Don't Pledge has subscribed. It's kind of a funny name considering you just subscribed, which is kind of like a pledge. Amber B. Subaru WRX, thank you, says Foogle fam for life. Lightning here in Mount Shasta. Q Believer says nothing, just subscribe, thank you. Liz Gaspari says Gaspari in the house and on time. Jersey Shore loves Sexy Dexy and Adam. Dex, watch out for that Liz. Cokehead Steve has also subscribed. Just kidding, Liz. Roseanne Bright, Pam Chand, Blue Dove, Bonnie Lynn, Ip Man, thank you everybody that just subscribed. I really appreciate you guys and welcome. If you do want to protect yourself, again, this is part of how we help ourselves. You have 1 day left on the contest. If you did not know, EMP Shield is running a contest right now. You can actually go to the website. We'll show you that in here in a second. But if you just want to protect one of your devices, say your generator, your house, your car, one of the best-selling ones, you can go and do that through us and not only save money, save $50 per device on top of whatever sale they're doing, and you will actually help the show. So again, I think it's a win-win for everybody. You get a huge discount, and we get a small commission that helps us keep going. Again, this is something I believe any of our affiliates, I either believe will help protect you, help make your life better, or help save a life potentially. This can protect against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, and it can protect against the natural kinds, solar flares. These are not only military tested, but military used by agencies like DHS, DOD, and now the DEMSO team officially helping protect the Texas grid. EMP Shield is not only handmade, one at a time over in, again, and veteran-owned business, but it is a company that is actually part of our community and part of our niche, and they are actually really amazing. Andrew over there will take care of all of you guys. So go to marfooglenews.com/EMP, and today is the last day, unfortunately, of that contest. There were daily entries for this, but if you want to get in before it closes, marfooglenews.com/contest. It's free to enter. You must go to marfooglenews.com/contest. /contest. All right, and then Dex, we're going to talk about, of course, China conducts amphibious landing drill near Taiwan after senator's visit. It's kind of convenient that they're one of their largest amphibious assault carriers just happened to catch fire in port and completely sink, or I believe theirs actually did. And then just a few months later, USA has an amphibious assault carrier, the exact same kind of ship, a very specific kind of ship for island hopping, caught fire for 5 days as well in port, and then, of course, got decommissioned. And now they're doing this. I wonder if any of this has anything to do with each other. What do you think, Dex?
Well, the other thing that was interesting to me is that they're doing these drills right when some of our senators have set foot in Taiwan. And if you remember, this happened about a month ago when it wasn't senators, it was a delegation that was sent by the president. And at that same time, they decided to go do drills right off, right in the territory and fly a bunch of planes and other things. So it's definitely not just a matter of convenience or coincidence, I should say, not convenience, coincidence that this drill happened to be happening. It's obviously calculated.
Now, just to read a little bit about this, it says China appears to have conducted an amphibious landing drill near Taiwan at about the same time 3 U.S. senators were visiting the island. It says, which Beijing considers to be a breakaway territory. The landing drill was announced in a social media post on Tuesday after the U.S. senators arrived on the island on Sunday, the Associated Press reported. Senator Tammy Duckworth, Dan Sullivan, and Chris Coons were all 3 senators who went to Taiwan. It says, quote, there are some countries that ask the question whether the United States will come to the aid of our friends in Taiwan. This is a moment we thought it was urgent and important for us to make it clear that we intend to do so. That was what Coons said. And it says the AP said that the landing drill included an assault landing and the transport of amphibious vehicles, according to a post by the Eastern Theater Command of the People's Liberation Army and WeChat account. Oddly enough, I just wanted to bring up, this is I think it's in our additional content on our website. Executive order was just signed today. Not only like unbanning and undoing the stuff for TikTok, but also WeChat. If you are somewhat researched on just the tiniest bit of it, you know that WeChat is their government part of their control system, along with Weibo and all of this other stuff. It's like, why? What is their public excuse for this? I don't get it. At the same time, they did some other movements to do stuff, but it's like, I don't get it. It says a video was also released of the training showing wheeled amphibious armored vehicles being able to dock at amphibious landing ships and then leave to go towards the beach, according to the AP. It says the AP noted that the amphibious landing would be a major component if the Chinese military decided to invade Taiwan. So, I don't know how much more they can practice without doing this thing. If you didn't know, if you're new here, we have covered the official Associated Press notice that they have not only made a full-size replica of the main city in Taiwan, where all of the main government stays, right? And they have been drilling in that area. It's huge. It's humongous. It's seen from space. They have made an exact replica of that to drill, taking it. They have now flown record numbers of jets and boomers into their actual economic zone, into their airspace, and now they have done this. On top of that, just about a year ago, that you had over a year, and then in this 4-month period, the USA and China both had the exact same kind of Navy ship, both amphibious assault carriers, Not only do they have the normal carrier capability of having helicopters and jets and things like that, but they also have the back end opened up so they can unload and amphibiously hop islands. Both ships caught fire in the ports, and both ships ended up catching fire for multiple days. Both ships did not hit accelerant, so it didn't go into the fuel tank. It wasn't somebody didn't throw their butt into the fuel tank or anything. And these are steel ships. They're not frilly cruise ships with curtains and frilly, tablecloths. These are steel ships meant for, functionality, metal. The only thing I could think of is like the bedding on it would be somewhat, if you've lived your life on a Navy ship, tell me, is there a lot of stuff that would catch fire in a Navy ship? Aren't they designed the opposite? So even if you have something right in the middle blow up, then the rest of the ship can somewhat, make up for that. So what do you think? Do you think that they saw this a year ago and said, hey, we need to kind of take a jab right in there because they are planning something? Don't know. Dex, do you have an opinion on that?
It's complicated to really know the truth, other than the speculation just seems very obvious when you look at the two different incidents, right?
Well, I keep saying like we feel what our gut says, and then the official narrative just says something completely different, and it's just really hard to know what is true and what's not. So go with your gut on most of this stuff. Let's see here. 68 Huther 68, I appreciate you. Liz Gaspari, I appreciate that. Missouri Wolf says Didymos will be nudged by DART launches in November for 2022. Contact 2 asteroids. Did you get the email? Missouri Wolf, I did not yet, but I know about Didymos and I know about the twins, and DART is something I've brought up, which is double asteroid redirection test. DART and, of course, HAMMER, Hypervelocity Asteroid and Mitigation Emergency Response Vehicle, basically a nuke on a rocket. That has come along, lasers to hit space trash. All of these missions, like OSIRIS-REx and, of course, Japan's Hayabusa, all of these missions are very odd. It's like, why are we all of a sudden so focused on one, space, getting off of Earth, going to Mars, creating space forces, sending DNA and sending a Noah's Ark to the moon and putting a Noah's Ark underground of all of our DNA samples. Why are countries making artificial moons, artificial suns? Why are we drilling huge holes? Why are we backing up our grid? Why are we shutting down observatories with Black Hawk helicopters and all that, and then saying, oh yeah, it's because of this, and everybody's like, nah. Why are all of these, super elites, having all of these issues happen all of a sudden? There is a conflict that we don't even know about, that we will never see, that we don't know about. We can take, guesses and throw out prayers. I don't know. But also all of the asteroid missions, what is actually happening? Is something headed towards us? And now UFO, this whole disclosure possibility, it's like, what is really going on here? Let's see here. Jamaica D. Bruce, thank you so much for your super sticker there. Thank you for the smiley face. Please look up asteroid Didymos. DART will shove it away in 2022 to not hit us. I don't think that's what they're publicly saying, but again, they're trying to test it because they do it in the future. What was the other test?
That one, they're just trying to move at 1%. Off of its course, and they're trying to figure out how to actually measure it. That asteroid, this is what they're saying. You can believe what you want. They're saying that it has no impact whatsoever. It's just a test. because it has no impact worthiness, but they know they can get to it. And if they can then change its trajectory, then they'll know that what they did worked.
So just so you know, and Missouri Wolf and everybody else, that they have done many drills, they've done many war games, they've done many simulations, and all of them have failed. They say to this day, we do not have the technology to do anything to stop an asteroid hitting Earth. So is that why we are trying to get off planet? Is that why they're so all of a sudden have these, very quick deadlines to get off of Earth? As far as Didymos, I guess the thought could be that maybe they believe it's going to hit and they just aren't telling us. I don't know. I thought Didymos, that mission was supposed to launch prior, but I think I thought that one maybe got pushed.
Launching in July. As early as July, they say. It's going to go 11 million kilometers and scheduled to hit.
Did it get pushed back?
In 2022.
Do you know if it got pushed back? Like they were supposed to launch earlier and they had to wait for another opening or something? What was that one?
It doesn't say, but it might have.
So, but what if Missouri Wolf is right? What if they're actually trying to redirect it stop it from hitting Earth? Because an asteroid in Earth, supposedly, if we believe the science that they have told us since we were born, it's like a intersection, and you either need to slow down Earth or speed up Earth, which that's probably not possible, or slow down the asteroid or speed up the asteroid so that it misses that intersection. So what they're trying to do is see if they can just nudge it over time, even 1%, which will change the overall trajectory permanently, but I've heard that we cannot. UFOs reportedly took offline U.S. nuclear capabilities, ex-chief of Pentagon secret unit says. So, mind you, this is from Sputnik, so I don't know why this ex-Pentagon chief is talking to Sputnik, but it says unidentified flying objects have repeatedly meddled with the U.S. nuclear technology, forcing some facilities to go offline. Ex-head of Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, Luis Elizondo, told the Washington Post. Now, last time we mentioned Elizondo's name at all, people started going, shill, 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 shill. I don't know about Luis Elizondo. I know that some people in the community do not like him. They say that... But I also think that, some people might, if they have a belief and somebody goes against that belief, what I do see a lot in this community is if they believe something and somebody doesn't believe it, that they just automatically, they say that. But is this guy really whatever they say he is? I don't know. I don't know enough about him.
At the end of the day, this is all part of the narrative, right? So the narrative has been coming out for the last month, and we've seen it really heavy for the last 35, 40 days. From, people that used to work in this department, used to work in that department, used to be the president of the country, et cetera, right? Everybody's got their talking points on this. And again, this isn't new. We've heard this message before from others, saying that, they thought that our, nuclear missile silos turned off because there was some strange activity going on and they just randomly turned off.
We've never heard it from somebody like this.
Right. We haven't heard it from him. Now, we've heard a lot of claims from him. Take them for what you want. But the other claim he's making is that it's also in other countries, not just our own, which is a little interesting. I hadn't heard that part yet. So is he asserting that these things are coming in and shutting our things off, or that we are shutting them off to protect them? He actually said they turned them on in other countries. That's like the opposite, right? That's interesting.
That is so creepy. It says, now in this country, we've had incident where those UAP have interfered and actually brought offline our nuclear capabilities. While some may deem the incidents to be something that is peaceful, there is data suggesting that UFOs have meddled with other countries' nuclear technology and actually turned them on, putting them online. That is a freaky, freaky thought. I have never heard that. That's nuts. I mean, this all seems like it's going to be a big setup. Backwoods Ingenuity says, what if looking up and staying inside is the distraction? When hundreds of people go missing in national parks without a trace, what if they found LFTLWH? Huh. That's a thought. Both off and on nuclear facilities, supposedly, says Ryan Alter. Thomas Beasy says nonsense. Randy Newman says Marf's Tacos. I don't know what that means. Loudy Mama, Eddie Ray, White Knight, Pam Ben is here. Kilroy was here. Gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. Says Angry Joe says it's overpriced for no single player mode. Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about COD, maybe? Missouri Wolf, is JStone78 still a mod? Can send info to her. I mealed 2 times. Missouri Wolf, you can I can look for it if that's your email name. And JStone is still a mod. She's just got a lot of stuff going on right now. She's got a whole big stuff that just got dropped on her plate. Sally, Grace Johnston, Thomas Cassidy. And by the way, thank you, CJ Blaze, for not only your attendance. Drop a CJ in the chat for CJ. She has been amazing. She has honestly not missed a show. And thank you, CJ. Let's see here. Fergadocious, Twisted Luck Truth is here. All sorts of great people. And then, of course, Frankie Rios, thank you for your support. So are they setting us up here? It says hundreds of mysterious fast radio bursts, or FRBs, detected in space. It says hundreds of mysterious fast radio bursts have been detected in space thanks to a Canadian telescope and an international group of researchers. The origins of these bright, millisecond-long flashes of light are unknown because the bursts, or FRBs, are unpredictable and vanish quickly. Scientists first observed them in 2007. In a decade following, they have observed only about 140 bursts across the universe. It says things about the FRBs is really hard to catch, said Miyoshi Masai, assistant professor of physics at MIT and member of the university's Kavli Institute for Astrophysics and Space Research. It says you have to have your radio telescope pointed at just the right place at just the right time, and you can't predict where or when it will be. So one thing I want to ask you guys, and I'm going to turn the chat back on here for a second. Have you been looking up at the sky and not seen a satellite, like get brighter, supposedly the sun's hitting it, brightening, and then, doing that? Not that. Have you seen just a bright flash of star? And I'm talking to just out of nowhere, you're looking into the stars, and it's not a plane, it's not anything else, it just whoosh, it's just a flash of light. It's like a super bright star that's just one bright flash. I have seen them several times, and I'm like, what the heck? And you wait for it to flash again. Sometimes I've seen where it's a flash and then a flash, and then a flash, and you go, oh, maybe it's just a satellite. But I'm talking about super bright flash way off in space. And it's not aircraft, it's not anything else. Have you guys seen that? Yes or no? Craig Mahan, let's see here. Hal Sage, Rhonda Kelly, and Little Stumpy has seen it. I think that there's a good amount of people that are just looking up all the time. I'm one of those. Once you see it, you are always looking up. It says most radio telescopes only see a patch of sky the size of a moon at a given time, meaning the vast majority of FRBs go unseen. That all changed when the CHIME telescope, located at the Dominion Radio Astrophysical Observatory in British Columbia, began receiving radio signals in 2018 during its first year of operation. It says the stationary radio telescope, called the Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment, detected 535 new fast radio bursts between 2018 and 2019. So over the whole time, we've seen 140, and now they've collected 535 in just 1 year. So what the hell is going on? This enabled scientists to create CHIME catalog of fast radio bursts, which was presented Wednesday, the 238th American Astronomical Society meeting, an event that's occurring virtually. Not only does the catalog expand the known number of these FRBs, but it also broadens the information the fast radio burst that these actually had from 18 sources. The repeating bursts appear differently. Each flash lasts a little bit longer than the single burst. When a burst repeats, scientists have a much better chance of tracing it back to its point of origin. These locations could help scientists determine what causes these bursts as well. Based on their observations, the researchers believe that single fast radio bursts may have sources that are different from repeating ones. It says, quote, with all of these sources, we can really start getting a picture of what FRBs look like as a whole, what astrophysics might be driving these events, and how they can be used to study the universe going forward. So, all of a sudden, because they have different technology watching, they're seeing all of this stuff go on above our heads. Is this kind of stuff and this kind of information now coming out at the 238th, gathering of these people? Is this now coming out because of this other stuff that's going on with the Pentagon? Is this part of propaganda? Is this part of fake disclosure? What do you guys think? I don't know. But I do know that, or are we genuinely are they about to just tell us, hey, aliens stopped by, they said we've got 12 years to live and we've got to get off the earth. They're going to help us, but we've got to tell you, we've kind of been talking with them for 50 years and, here's Billy Bob Alien Orton, and we need you guys to meet him. I don't know.
Hey, Adam, if you go back to that second photograph in the article and zoom in, it looks like a giant half pipe. And basically, this technology that they're doing is a fixed. We've seen these with other satellite or other dishes, but it's a giant, huge, very, very long, and multiple stacked in a row, and they're really wide, but they're fixed. So most these antennas or telescopes are moving around trying to find things. These just hold one position, and the only movement they have is the movement of the Earth. So they're fixed in position, but then they get to have this really strong capability as the Earth rotates around.
Why didn't they think of that earlier? It just seems to me like that would be kind of a no-brainer. But I'm sure that these don't get the same kind of picture. They don't have the same kind of technology and see like the other ones. They're actually picking up.
It's all digital too.
Yeah,
they're brand new, so they're all digital.
Wow, that's incredible. So this wasn't possible 10 years ago. So we'll see what happens. I know that there are folks that think that this is all BS, but there are hundreds of thousands of people in these fields. One thing I would think of is like, are they just all getting tricked? Or is the thing above us just so advanced that we can't tell the difference? DN Bender, thank you so much. Con Wayne, thank you so much for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Mary O just subscribed. Welcome to the Foogle fam. And then Chris Haskin, Jamaica DeBruce, thank you again. Glitch, thank you for subscribing. I like that how you put that. Lacey Thomas, thank you as well. Ilea says solar eclipse tomorrow morning. Backwoods ingenuity. What if looking up and staying inside is the distraction? Boom. Got that one all right. Thank you, Backwoods. And Ilea, I'm sorry I missed that. By the way, it looks like we have Melissa Walters says, what are your thoughts on the new variant that came from India and is in the U.S.? I think I have zero thoughts. If you can decipher that. Yeah, I have zero thoughts on it. I don't think of it at all. But the newspapers do. How to watch this week's rare Ring of Fire solar eclipse. Last month's super flower blood moon eclipse is hardly the only exciting celestial event of the season. Week brings even bigger spectacle, a rare ring of fire solar eclipse. On June 10th, skywatchers all over the world will be able to view the eclipse. A total solar eclipse occurs when, of course, the moon passes directly between the Earth and the sun, completely blocking the sun's light. During the annular solar eclipse, the moon does not completely cover the sun as it passes, leaving a glowing ring of sunlight visible. So this is, of course, looks like tomorrow morning or this morning. Dex, what time is this thing going to be at? Do we know? Should have 6:35 a.m. or 6:53
Eastern time.
So it's actually going to be 3 o'clock in the morning. If some of you West Coast people that are staying up late tonight, you might be able to spot it. I guess it depends on the weather. We've had, by the way, we had the coldest Sunday, June 9th, I believe, was the coldest on record ever in history. It was like the coldest Sunday on record in June ever recorded. It's like, why are we not getting summer on? Some of you people that live in Miami and Florida and Arizona and all these hot places, you're so incredibly lucky.
So just to be clear, only people on the East Coast, specifically the Northeast Coast, and
will be able to see it.
Are going to be able to see it. But in DC, you'll get a partial view, just to give you an example of how it'll change.
Well, we got to mention because and Siberia. So all of our friends in Siberia, you'll be able to see it in Siberia.
And Arctic. They're all up there in the Arctic too, listening.
Yeah, I know. I get a lot of emails. Hey, I'm in the Arctic. Hey, I'm in Siberia. How's that North Pole going? Well, it's coming towards me really fast. It's scary because it's going to flip. I'm an Eskimo. Too far? Probably. Virgin Galactic's Richard Branson plots trip to space next month, weeks before Jeff Bezos flies on Blue Origin rocket. It says it could be the battle of the billionaires to see who can launch themselves into space first, as Richard Branson could beat Jeff Bezos. The Amazon CEO announced this week that he and his brother would be heading to space on July 20th on Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft. Okay, what freaky to me is the ultra elites, the guys that are actually running this planet, are all sending themselves to space on very experimental grounds. These are the first flights or whatever, or the first flights that we know that people have gone on, right? Have they already been testing it, but that's top secret with the government or something? Why did Amazon they didn't get a single contract, but yet they did. They were like, oh, you didn't get any contracts, so we're going to bend some rules and give you contracts. What the hell is going on here? And are these elites really going up? You don't see Elon saying, oh, I'm going. Maybe he is. Maybe we won't know. But Jeff Bezos and his brother, so that's two people in his family. If they both go up or if something happens wrong, they're both gone. It seems weird to me. And it's set to do all of these guys are retiring. They're getting out early, or some of them are. It's like, what is going on here? Actually look at what they're doing right now. They're sending Noah's Arks of DNA and basically samples of every animal, DNA samples of everything, to the moon, and putting them in the deepest mountains on Earth. Tell me something is not up. Rhonda McKay says, better late than never. I'll catch up with the replay. Rhonda McKay, thank you so much. Or Rhonda McKee. I don't know how you say it, but thank you so much for doing that. Jennifer DeAngelis Evans, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Foogle fam. What a freaky thing there. And then we have tech companies want to make holograms part of routine office life. Dex, what do you think about this? So that photograph you have right there, that first one, that is actually the CEO attending an all hands meeting. I think it was from WeWork, and he was presented as a hologram.
I mean, we know, we've heard and we've had speculation, but we've been told by people with authority and sources that they have this capability, and they have this capability on a much larger scale. It's interesting now to see that this technology is going to try to go mainstream, because when you think about putting it into the office and saying, hey, well, instead of people staring into a computer screen, they can just start to look at holograms of the attendees in their meeting. That is definitely bringing this capability to the masses, which means it has definitely been there, and what they can do with it beyond that in a much bigger scale, like we've talked about with other things like Bluebeam and other stuff, it's probably a reality.
You could not only attend a virtual event in person or pretend you are, right? You could have this virtual event around you. Also, you could have someone attend the event and them projected at the event. So I guess I wonder how soon they'll come, if you're doing a TED Talk to an all virtual audience, maybe they'll have a cheat code to imagine them all naked to make it easier to speak. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this would have solved the sports stadium problem when the CV was preventing people from going in. They could have just filled them full of holograms instead of cardboard cutouts.
You know what this actually, you know what is really freaky about this? Like, imagine Star Wars, the Star Wars chess game where the monsters are holograms and they're fighting. I can imagine a world where, football players are in a closed stadium and their holograms are getting projected out onto a stadium when really they're playing inside and it's being projected, all over the place. Or churches. Think about church where you have a pastor that's walking back and forth for, entire countries, and he's in 50 different churches at a time. In fact, if you think about it, like Mars Hill Church, it was a big church that was, it kind of went downhill after some drama, but it was local here too. The guy would project himself on just a theater screen in many other places, and people would attend and just watch. They would all sit in front of this theater screen, and it would be like they all kind of went together to a movie theater and listened to a pastor. I could imagine, though, where a church would take advantage of this and have a pastor actually walking back and forth on stage, walking through the crowd, and being able to do one pastor for hundreds of countries. I mean, this technology is amazing in a way, but at the same time, it's so terrifying that we're going this fast into this future. So just think about this. The governments and the rulers of the planet, they know that this is happening so fast that we're not all going to be ready for it. They're looking at it and go, we have to keep control of stuff. That's why I think that we're having a lot of dramatic changes, and I believe how they look at it is they have to do some lying. In their minds, they justify it by saying, we've got to tell them this because otherwise it's going to be unruly or this or that. What do you think?
I bet Macron wished he was a hologram when he walked out off of that plane.
Bow! Slap in the face. At least it wasn't a shoe, though. Bush got a shoe. He got a straight up slap. If you don't know, President Macron was walking out and there was offensive people, and he got beat slapped. I wanted a sound effect there, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Dang it. Dang it. He got slapped. Okay. Yeah, it was too much work and it didn't even sound like it. El Salvador is one step closer to making Bitcoin legal tender after proposing new law. Dex, you can cover this since you're our Bitcoin guy.
I think it'll make the first country if they actually do it. So I guess he's proposed a law, sent the law into their Congress, and trying to make Bitcoin a legal tender, so they can use it as a legal currency. And if it happens, I guess it's one of the first countries to actually do it, if not the first country, probably the first country to do this. So kind of kind of a big deal. Maybe it's more of a big deal for El Salvador, but it's also it is a sign.
It's a pretty big deal of Bitcoin.
It is a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a thing that nobody even knows who made the thing in the first place, and it's going to become legal tender. I still think that's crazy. Hi, Marf and Dex. It's okay. Just want to let everyone know about the Extinction Protocols conference this weekend. Can be purchased at stevequail.com. I am buying and believe will explain a lot of things. Thanks and God bless. Be best, be free. Thank you for the support, and I actually did not know about that. Steve Quayle is pretty... I've watched some of his documentary stuff about the Giants and other things. Pretty fascinating stuff. And then I believe he's done some stuff on earthquakes. As mystery over Havana syndrome lingers, a new concern emerges. So we've covered thoroughly about all of these possible energy weapons that have happened. It says some U.S. officials suspect that the so-called Havana syndrome could be an unintentional byproduct of foreign efforts to collect intelligence from U.S. government employees' electronics devices. And now they are concerned that America's adversaries may have weaponized the tactic to intentionally cause physical harm. It says a recent U.S. intelligence assessment generated by the B administration could not determine what caused the unexplained brain injuries suffered by the diplomats, spies, and other government workers at home and abroad, or why the victims were potentially targeted. According to one current and two former officials, it says there is no consensus with the intelligence community, the technique, the purpose, who is targeted, and what is just a coincidence, says one of the former officials said. But one leading theory is that the victims suffered the effects of intense electromagnetic energy waves from devices intended to extract information from cell phones and other personal devices, the official said. Cut and dry, what they're saying is these people in Havana, the diplomats, the spies, the people in Russia, all these different events that have happened where these people are getting brain injuries, they're having sight problems, they're having permanent central nervous system flaws, are because these guys were going in there with certain machines or something that was sending waves and grabbing cell phone data. This makes sense, Dex. I mean, it makes a lot more sense than just standing outside and going, I'm going to make his eyes hurt.
Exactly. It definitely brings a little bit more validity to how it happened. But I think the scare is, okay, well, if this technology was used, to try to get information off of a phone, but now they found out they can use it to harm people, then they've already got the device ready to be used if they want to use it to harm people, right?
I'm more concerned about what information they got. If that means that they've got this information, it would make a lot of sense why all of these things are happening. A lot of stuff that it's like, how did they know that we were going to do this before we did it? I don't know. It seems like there's a lot
there's
going on.
So much information they got from SolarWinds, and there's so much information they got from the Microsoft email, which was just about as many people as SolarWinds, that they probably have more information than they know what to do with right now. And we're going to see it trickle out. We'll see a lot of, especially on the email front, you're going to see a lot of interesting emails over the next year or two.
I think we're going to see events that are done so well that people believe that it was just purely... it's something that completely looks benign and natural, right? But it was actually planned so well that it's just so hidden that nobody even knows what it is.
We just saw some interesting emails with that famous doctor,
Kelly2334, salute. Thank you for the Ninja Guinea. I appreciate your support. Thank you for supporting independent. We are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. Thank you guys for supporting Jeannie F. Chandler, Miss Me, V2, Hopkinson, Bear Lover 92,000, RBC Nightly. Thank you so much for the diamond from Vancouver, Washington. Love you all. Bear Claws Zippy Moon says maybe Elon is on that Tesla in space. Good point. Maybe he's just a hologram here. Chicky R says, thank you, Adam and Dex, for real news and comedy too. Kishara says, must be in excellent shape for space. At DNA of Rich. Let's see here. We've got Pixel World Network. Thank you for following. Welcome to the Foogle fam. Pearl says, you heard about the birds just in D.C. falling dead. No, I didn't. I heard about the birds attacking people in Rome. Maybe. I might have covered that. If it was older, if it's brand new, then no, I did not get that yet. In fact, I was thinking we might have even covered that last month. But we do have a mystery shaking. Check this out. By the way, before we get there, I do want to remind you, if you want to protect yourself against cyber threats, I would highly recommend going over to NordVPN. They brought you today's show. Thank you, everybody that has already gone through this. Not only do you get a giant discount, but you also help the channel. Make sure to go over and use the special code Marfoogle. If you've heard about VPNs and think that they're super advanced, this is super easy. You download it. There's an on and off mode. You just literally push a toggle like a light switch, and it puts you somewhere else. So it hides your IP address. It stops data logging. It stops the bad guys from getting your real address. It also helps protect your identity online as far as people getting in and taking all of your information. You can only imagine you don't want identity theft right now, especially with everything that's going down right now. Again, it's up to 6 simultaneous connections or devices going, all for one price. So that means you can use your computer, your wife's computer, your kid's computer, tablets, and cell phones can be protected all at the same time. marfooglenews.com/VPN. Thank you, and thank you. Now, it also, so again, there's the Havana mystery. Now there's the mystery shaking felt, a boom across San Diego County for the 3rd time in 2021. We not only covered this, we had viewers send in video on their actual Ring camera, and they showed us this boom. And there's no explaining it. If you caught this one, and we'll tell you the day here, it says, for the 3rd time since February, a mysterious boom was heard and shaking felt Tuesday night by residents across San Diego County. The latest mystery phenomena, sometimes referred to as a skyquake, was reported just before 8:20 p.m. by residents as far as south as the border, as far east as El Cajon, and in San Diego neighborhoods in the southeast and coastal areas, as well Linda Vista, Claremont, and Terra Santa. If you are in any of those areas and you do have an account with, Ring or Nest or anything like this, most of them go 30 days back. Get me the video of that. You can go to marfooglenews.com, and there's a tab at the top that says Play My Video. If you go there and you see this, click that. You can actually upload that video, and we can show it here on the show next Friday. Again, go to Play My Video, or you can go to marfooglenews.com/playmyvideo. But again, get me those videos. If you go back, we've just told you the exact time. I want to see some videos on this because I know people have it. This is a huge area. This is one of these trumpet moments or these big skyquakes, a huge boom, and no explanation once again. What the heck is going on here? It says, again, that was Tuesday night. So now, what is it? It's Wednesday. So last night at about 8:20 p.m. And I'm guessing that would be West Coast Pacific time. So get me that video, please. As far east as El Cajon again, it says a similar incident shook the region February 16th earlier this year, and we had video of that. At the time, the United States Geological Survey tweeted that the shaking was not an earthquake, but it may have been a sonic boom, which are not too uncommon in San Diego. About 3 weeks later, on March 10th, residents across the region again reported a similar shaking and loud boom, though no earthquakes were reported. On Tuesday night, the USGS website again showed no seismic activity in the region. Get me the video of that. I want to see it. I want to hear it. Last time we had a perfect video, clear as day. It was in the mid-afternoon, and it was boom. It was scary. If you hear these in person, call in and let us know on the next call-in show, which will be tomorrow. This is so weird. Okay, Dex, did you see the part that comes after this? It says, one caller reported hearing what they thought was someone on their roof, though dispatchers and officers believed it was likely related to the mysterious shaking, according to the police radio traffic. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria heard it too. Says, quote, yes, I heard it, Gloria tweeted. No, I don't know what it was. I'll share if I get any information. Get V'd if you haven't yet. Oh my gosh. Are people just nuts? Did you see that, Dex?
Is that like the hashtag? Like, I'm just going to add that tagline to anything I say.
Dude, I saw an apartment complex and it said, we are V'd. What was it? It's an apartment complex. We are V'd and now renting. It's like, what? You're like, oh, I'm going to rent there. The staff there is V'd. I don't get it. I'm so confused. So many people are waking up. It's freaky. So many people, I've seen it in the chat. They say, I regretted it. It's like, what the heck? How are people just... White House press charter plane delayed by cicadas. We've been talking about this yesterday. Somebody said that they were, just covered in sticky cicadas in Maryland. But this actually said that it actually put off one of their official flights. It says it's a flight delay 17 years in the making. The White House press charter plane scheduled to leave Washington on Tuesday evening ahead of JB's first trip abroad as Prez has been delayed by cicadas. Can you believe he has not gone abroad yet? I believe the vice president has been abroad several times, all over the place, in fact. It says the noisy insect...
Just not down by the border.
Yeah, no, don't want to go there. The noisy insects that have emerged after their nearly 2 decades of slumber. The chartered plane was scheduled to depart around 9 p.m. That's past the bedtime, though. Wait. The lid must have been called 12 hours before that, so I don't even know how that's possible. But a new plane was dispatched to Dulles International Airport after airline officials informed White House travel aides that cicadas have invaded exterior sections of the plane late Tuesday afternoon. Wow, so they were getting into the actual plane parts. That's nuts. Flight is now expected to leave early Wednesday morning. Well, JB is still awake and kicking. I might have added that last part. Mrs. H, thank you so much. Zippy Moons and Kelly2334, thank you for another Ninjagini. Again, thank you so much for everybody that supports our channel. Pearl says, not only dead, but also blind. You heard about the birds just in D.C. falling dead. Wow, so they weren't only dead, they were blind? Yeah. Dex, do you have a link?
So what's happening there? This is about 2 weeks ago they were reporting it, and they have neurological issues. Their eyes are crusting up and they have discharge and they're basically blind and, they end up dying. They came out today, the USGS of all people came out today and put out a warning telling people to stop feeding and because they don't know what's going on. But they said that because disease can spread so quickly, they asked people to stop putting out bird feeders and to clean any of their bird baths and feeders with bleach immediately, and to avoid handling them, any of these birds, and to keep your pets away from them because they don't know what's going on. So,
oh my gosh, this is scary. Okay, this is an interagency statement. This is straight up USGS, the official website. USGS and partners investigating DC area bird mortality event. That's what they're calling this, a mortality event. In late May, wildlife managers in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia began receiving reports of sick and dying birds with eyes swelling and crusty discharge, as well as neurological signs. No definitive cause of death is identified at this time. I'm telling you, people, who knows? This could be a biological thing it's the start of. You know what I'm saying? That is freaking... And they're telling you to clean bird feeders with 10% bleach. What? I get that that's for, like, so you don't catch anything. Avoid handling birds, but wear disposable. They're trying to prevent something. This is really freaky. Am I tripping, or I mean, is this creepy?
It's creepy. It certainly could be. You know, the obviously they don't want it spreading to more birds, and it's obviously spreading in birds. So get rid of the feeders so they don't congregate, but clean everything and stay away from it, right? Because they don't know if it's going to transfer to pets, transfer to humans, and what exactly it is.
Keep pets away from sick or dead birds as a standard precaution. Wow. Huh.
I thought I had read somewhere this was happening in Georgia, and it would make sense though that, you know, birds migrate up to the north in the summer, so they go back. So there may be more to this story as it progresses. The investigation progresses. They start to figure more of this out.
Who was that? That was let's see here. That was Pearl. Thank you so much for this is why our audience is so great. If we're all looking through all of this and putting it in there, that's how we catch everything. So thank you so much. Bear Lover 92,000 says my Ring camera caught a full apparition on 6/5/21. Bear Lover, send that in. I love to see it. I've caught two things lately that I think are really weird. I told Dex about it too. Really freaky stuff. Lisa K23, oh no, they're coming for our chickens next. I didn't even think about that. Think about it for any of those people that have their own animals, their own supplies of animals and birds, obviously for eggs and for chicken, so they can, be self-sufficient. They could easily do this and take them. Lisa K, good point. The truth is out there. Immunological testing labs in VA by DC and MD. Jem gets the award for attendance. Thank you so much for every night being here. Geisy, another person who's here all the time. Pam Beth, recalcitrant, Duck Hawk. Again, thank you everybody that's been here almost every night. Frankie Rios, thank you, says John Dillinger. Thank you so much for everything you do, Marv and Dex. Well, thank you. All right, and then Dex, we have...
And real quick, Adam, a reminder, we mentioned, I think it was last week, that China reported the first human case of bird flu going from the birds to the humans.
That's right. So there's a lot of people that have a theory that this first thing is not the actual thing, that this is a dry run because they see something that's about to happen, and that the real one will take out millions and millions, if not 2/3 of our population. So that all of this was to get it down before it really happened. That's a crazy theory. Is it so crazy? That would be freaking. Actually, it would make a lot more sense. Oh, unfortunately, you know what? I just realized I never even tweeted. The tweet never sent. Well, we'll get the few people that see that. Dex, can you show us over on the website? We have a ton of information there that is not going to be on the show tonight. And then I'm going to say a special thank you to a couple people here.
Absolutely, Adam. So if you head over to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail for this show, or click on a thumbnail for any show and scroll down, you'll find web-only content. That is everything else that we can't cover in the show, or maybe it's two-sided and not two-sided, but single-sided in one direction or another, and we don't want to cover it as news. So go check it out. There's lots of things going on. We continue to watch stuff around the results that have come in from different states and how they're counting those things over again. And then some stuff there with the not the band called Who, but the other thing. So we'll go check it out. Lots of interesting things, lots of the topics you guys probably want to talk about and hear about that we just can't bring up here on the show. MarfoogleNews.com, click on the thumbnail and look for web-only content.
And then on the right side, if you want to support us in any way, which I usually say at the beginning, you can do so over there. All of our affiliates are those boxes. It makes it very easy. You can just click on whichever box that you want to go with. And then our PayPal is there. Speaking of PayPal, thank you for the ones who have gone over there during the show today. Thank you for those who do that. Again, obviously, reasons they take the least amount out. It doesn't go towards YouTube or other platforms that take upwards of 50%. So thank you that supporting us, because we are building stuff right now. So thank you, everybody that is supporting. Let's see here. Over on PayPal, Helen M says, Adam and Dex, thank you for all you do. Thank you guys for all of your support. Everybody that has gone over. Allison B, thank you so much for your support. Jacqueline L, thank you, and thank you. If just to let you know too, the next time if you do that, you can write a message there as well. It's all same as a super chat. You can write, and you can also put at the top. Make sure to put, if you don't want your message read, and if you just want to write something to me directly, you can do so as well. Or if you want to write it to Dex. Let's see here. Judy from Kansas. Love you, Adam, Dex, and Foogle fam. Gentle Moss. Thanks for being bold, keeping us informed, and reporting honest love and prayers. Thank you. And by the way, guys, go to the website. Make sure to get over there. The after content is a whole nother show in itself. If you want, you can imagine me saying what I would say. In fact, I've heard that some people say they'll pull up an article and then they'll even add the echo on my stupid jokes while they're reading the article. It is now officially time for the shoutro. Dex, what is a shoutro?
Well, it's not an outro,
but
it's not a shout out.
Then what could it be? It's a
shoutro.
Okay, you got to say shoutro. Put some energy.
Shoutro.
Have a good night.
It will continue, Adam. Just remind everybody, it continues for those of you on YouTube over on Marfoogle Jams. I keep letting people know, but head over there if you want to see the full shoutro. Well,
and not only that, if you don't care about the music, you can always just continue the chat. A lot of people like to just keep talking with the Foogle fam. We're also going to be releasing songs there. We'll have smaller streams over there. We need to get that channel going. So, again, Marfoogle Jams is our third kind of hangout area.
and Jennifer DeAngelis, Evans, backwoods ingenuity, Ilea, legacy, Thomas and the glitch, Shamika MD, Bree, Usa, bring it down like Medusa, Chris Haskins on the masking, everybody's unmasking, ever since he had to be tasking, do a bag around bashing, assassin, oh, whoa, back Frankie, Rios assassin, hashtagger, bring it back now, bagger, at the store, boy, right, doing now, dagger, oh, I said, Buddha, H-Win, O-N, briefcase, did we just have our first human with the H1O, and the birds lying in the red MP, hey, I gotta say, gotta drop it down, Faye, Rhonda McKay, Jennifer D. Angela, hey, 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 hey.
Prepare my LC family, Lexi with Dex and Mama go see Adam and Dex and I'm amazing. Moderate or gonna go down that day. Oh, love that low, gotta bring it back round, round, round.
We might have to make a new song tonight.
You, the apocalypse coming soon. Jesus is coming for you. Got the Pam Bam Bones and the Dawn Shackle. Going back white and I don't stackle. Everybody got that Susie touchstone. Everybody really wanna grab the touch phone. Touchstone with a Marfoogle gold. EMP shield works very, very well. Bobby on the deadbeat, Debbie payroll. Right Wendy Hughes and everybody swell. The apocalypse coming soon. It's coming for you. The apocalypse coming soon. Jesus is coming for you. Hey Christine, Axe Farrah, Annie Svensson and the rest of Rye. Jeffrey, Patrick, Julie Kim, bring down and they know him. The apocalypse coming soon. It's coming for you. The apocalypse coming soon. Jesus is coming for you. Got the Kelly Hansen, the CJ Blaze, Patrick Geppetto and Mr. Ray. Gotta go back in the brand new. Everybody do what the duet do.
All right, let's make the top D-Live contributor a song right here. Let's see.